The first book review that I will be doing is Mirror by Jeannie Baker. This book is typically used at a primary level. However, I am under the belief that this certainly can be used at a middle year level, as there is so much to analyze from the text, looking at how the author delivered the main ideas of the text by using imagery. Mirror is a picture storybook which explores two different cultures through the perspective of two different families, an Australian and a Moroccan family. When we first start to look through the book, it delves into the idea that the lives of these families are different. However, as we continue on the journey of reading the book, we can come to the conclusion that we can be considered the same or like a mirror to each other. This picture book has two defining features. Firstly, this has a dual narrative setup, so both of the stories are meant to be read side by side with each other. Secondly, there are no words for this text, with the exception at the very start. There is a passage for both stories, which help provide context for the story. So looking at the strengths and weaknesses. So the strengths of this text are that it has powerful imagery. When we look at it as a teacher, there is so much we can get students to analyze looking at the writer's craft. Looking at how they use characterization, the setting, imagery, and literary techniques to deliver the message of the story. Being different is also a strength of this text. This isn't the typical novel which students at the middle years would be expecting or have gotten used to. So by providing them a chance to analyze this text, it will help promote a higher order of thinking. Another nice strength that this has is that this book has multicultural links. If there were some weaknesses for this text, it would be that the story is quite simplistic. Not much inferring is required to understand the moral of the story. However, I feel like the weaknesses of this text are offset by the rich amount of the writer's craft which can be analysed from the text. Curriculum links. These are the main curriculum links that would relate to Mirror during the middle years. They mainly revolve around the multimodal aspect of the text and how the literacy features of the text type affect the reader. Also, some of the cultural aspects of the English curriculum could also be met using this text. Feel free to pause the video to read any of these links. How this can be used in the classroom. At the middle years, as mentioned before, teachers could use this to help fulfill curriculum points that look at analysing multimodal or visual texts. When we start to look at this text with a critically thinking lens, there is so much to analyse with this text when we focus looking at the writer's craft. So right now, I will quickly show slides which quickly break down what prompts or questions and some of the activities which could be used when doing an analysis of this text. Feel free to pause the video at any time to read these. There is nothing wrong with using Mirror for 1 or 2 weeks or a couple lessons to help meet curriculum standards around multimodal texts. However, I feel that this would be a wasted opportunity. Mirror would be a great focus point on having an inquiry-based learning experience for students. The big idea could be focused around the idea that even though people have their differences, we can be considered the same. A very brief outline of what this could look like is during the tuning in phase, you can introduce mirror and you could do an analysis similar to the one modeled previously in the video. During the next 3 phases of finding out, sorting out, and going further, you could provide students with resources or let them find their own which relate to the big idea. For the conclusion section, you can get them to present their findings any way they wish. However, looking at the other learning areas of the English curriculum, you may want them to produce a piece of writing or do an oral presentation. And for the taking action phase, you could just allow them to think of ways which could actively improve the community from their learnings from completing this basic inquiry-based learning unit. And that's the end for my book review on Mirror. Thank you for watching.